A very good afternoon, Team Zimbabwe, Africa, and beyond. And we need to reflect and take a look on the developments in the nation of Zimbabwe, the SADC region, and as well as the world. So there is a question here. Can SADC sanction Zimbabwe if President Emerson Mnangagwa refuses to listen to the calls being made for the fresh elections? And we need to reflect on this and have an answer. So let me put right here this important piece onto the screen so that we are guided accordingly in terms of this discussion. We need to take a look onto this question. Can SADC sanction Zimbabwe and ZANU-PF? And it's very important for us to actually reflect and have a true answer so that whenever we see things happening, we know for sure that yes, we talked about these issues and some people ignored. So first and foremost, let us take a look on the countries which constitute the SADC region. We have Seychelles, we have Mauritius, we have Madagascar. These countries are not directly connected to Zimbabwe in any way. You have to fly, you have to use ship for you to be able to go to Seychelles, to Mauritius, to Madagascar. Then we have countries like Lesotho, Swaziland. You have to go by bus through South Africa or through Mozambique. And we have countries like Botswana. We have countries like Namibia. We have countries like Angola, Democratic Republic of Congo. We have Tanzania. We have Malawi. And we have Mozambique. So a lot of people were making arguments saying that Zimbabwe is at the center of everything. And every country needs Zimbabwe for in terms of trade, in terms of transportation, in terms of business. And we need to take a look onto that. And the reason why Zimbabwe must compromise. At this moment in time, Zimbabwe needs SADC, not the other way around. Yes, SADC needs Zimbabwe, but most importantly, Zimbabwe needs SADC, not the other way around, more than the way SADC needs Zimbabwe. And I'm going to explain. If you take a look onto Zambia, I'm going to use it because of the diplomatic tensions which are between Zimbabwe and Zambia, and the argument which is being spread by a lot of people to say Zimbabwe can do away without Zambia, but Zambia cannot do away without Zimbabwe. And a lot of people were saying Zimbabwe is central and every country is connected from Zimbabwe. That is not true. Zimbabwe borders with South Africa, number one. It borders with Mozambique, number two. It borders with Zambia, number three. It borders with Botswana, number four. And not conveniently with Namibia. Okay. What about Zambia? Zambia, it borders with Namibia, with Botswana, with Zimbabwe, with South Africa, with Malawi, with Mozambique, with Angola, with the DRC, with Tanzania. So all key countries except South Africa, all countries which are within the dry land, they border with Zambia, except for one country, South Africa. It is the only country which does not border with Zambia. So Zimbabwe needs SADC most than any other country. Zimbabwe's industry is dead. Zimbabwe's agriculture is dead. Zimbabwe's healthcare is dead. Zimbabwe's education sector is dead. Zimbabwe's financial sector is dead. Zimbabwe's road network is dead. Zimbabwe's air network is dead. All those issues, if you put them together, you are given a dysfunctional economy, an economy which is largely dependent on other countries. Take a look on the mining sector in Zimbabwe. It is not fully functional. The mining sector is enriching the elites, enriching multinational companies, and enriching politicians, not the country itself. If you take a look on the fiscus, the money which goes into the fiscus from the mining industry, it's little and cannot make Zimbabwe survive at this moment in time. So it's very important for Zimbabwe to understand that if it is sanctioned and any other country complies with those sanctions, it means Zimbabwe is in trouble, in total trouble. And if Zimbabwe closes its borders and say, hakusina motikari yemuZambia ichapfuura nemuZimbabwe, Zambia can go to Maputo or whatever through Mozambique straight. Zambia can go to Malawi straight. Zambia can go to Tanzania straight. Zambia can go to South Africa via Namibia or via Botswana straight. Zambia can connect to Angola and use the ports in Angola, can connect to DR Congo straight. So it's Zimbabwe which will need Zambia for them to pass through to go to Tanzania. It will need Zambia for them to pass through to DR Congo. It will need Zambia for them to pass through to Angola. It will need Botswana for them to pass through to Namibia. So Zimbabwe cannot survive without key allies in the SADC region. That is the reason why Zimbabwe and its leaders must understand that having relations in SADC, putting yourself down, humbling yourself down, is not a mistake. It's something which must be considered. If SADC says there were no elections in Zimbabwe, if SADC says what you did was wrong, if SADC says you have to redo these elections or you have to come back and sit down as a nation and have a discussion about these just ended elections, Zimbabwe does not have any choice. They have to comply. They have to go sit down and talk, because that is the only way Zimbabwe is going to survive. Without that, Zimbabwe cannot survive. So this narrative was saying Zambia needs Zimbabwe more. It's wrong. It's false, because the economy of Zambia is booming. Hakainde Hichilema is trading and is bringing relations. He has been into China, he has been to America, he has been to various countries, and is a respected person diplomatically, internationally. Hakainde Hichilema is respected, and a lot of people take him serious. A lot of governments takes him serious. But if you come back to Zimbabwe, the government of Zimbabwe is not taken seriously. Why? Take a look on how they defend corruption. Take a look on how they defend looting, how they defend incompetency, how they defend vote rigging, which is so direct and embarrassing. So anything which is going to happen will affect Zimbabwe more. What it means is, if Zimbabwe is sanctioned by SADC, then know for sure that we are in total trouble. Will South Africa and Mozambique be able to rescue Zimbabwe alone? I doubt. So we really need Botswana, we really need Zambia, we really need Tanzania, we really need DR Congo, Angola. We need everybody on board. We need South Africa as equally as Mauritius, Madagascar, and other SADC countries. We really need support of everyone within the region. And that is the only way Zimbabwe can survive from economic relegation if sanctions are placed. So if you take a look, if they are sanctioned, you will see Zimbabwe being sanctioned by SADC, by EU, by USA, and that will be the end of the current government. And for them to survive, they really need to consider their diplomatic approach and make sure that they fix the problems at home as well as abroad. So this is my opinion. This is what I think. I believe that if SADC sanctions Zimbabwe right now, we are in total trouble. And that calls for humility of our leaders before they are humiliated. Kudakwashe, thank you very much for the contribution. Let us meet in other episodes as well as other broadcasts.